Hi, I'm Elena Payton. I'm a board certified naturopathic doctor. I'm also a certified functional medicine health coach, amongst other things. But yes, you heard that right. I went through the Functional Medicine Coaching Academy. I learned the protocols. I understand the model. I've worked within that framework professionally and also personally. And I'm going to tell you something that might be controversial, but functional medicine is not enough. Sorry, guys. Not because it's bad, not because it doesn't help people, but because it stops short of what true healing actually needs, what happens in true healing. And if you've been in the functional medicine world for a while, if you've done the testing, taken the supplements, followed the protocols, and you're still stuck, this video is going to explain why. Trust me, I've been there. So let me share you about my journey with functional medicine. So I'm going to start off by saying I am very grateful for functional medicine. Might not sound like it based on my intro, but I promise I am. When I was at my sickest in 2019, allergic to 69 out of 72 things, unable to drive, told I had early onset dementia at 39, amongst a slew of other issues, it was a functional medicine doctor that helped me go from literally nearly dying to surviving. So for that, I'm forever grateful. Conventional medicine had completely failed me. I had been dealing with chronic throat pain for months, probably actually going on to like a year or longer, earlier on in my journey. And I kept thinking I had strep throat, like something wasn't right. The ENT told me that I had silent reflux and gave me reflux medicine, and that never helped. And no, I didn't have strep. So finally, she sent me to a GI doctor that scoped me. And I kid you not, but I came out of that procedure and he said everything looked fine, relatively normal. And then he looked at me and said, it still really irritates me. He goes, sometimes, I kid you not, he goes, sometimes women, especially mothers, have phantom pains in order to get attention from themselves. Are you kidding me? Phantom pains to get attention? I won't tell you what I actually told him, but I looked at him, wanted to give him the middle finger, said something not nice, and walked out. That was the moment that I was done with conventional medicine. Now, if I get hit by a bus, yes, please take me to the hospital, stitch me up, etc. But for like chronic issues, done. Also, along the way, they tried giving me anti-anxiety meds throughout all of this, sometimes antidepressants here and there, but mostly anti-anxiety medication because clearly I was just anxious and making it all up, right? No. They never actually looked. They ran basic labs and everything came back normal. They decided my symptoms weren't real. After years, or I take that back. Some things they said, that's just how I made. I literally thought I was just a lemon and this is how I get to live life. Let me tell you, that is not true. Don't ever accept that. Ever, ever, ever. After years of chronic sinus infections, more antibiotics and steroids, more specialists that couldn't help me, I finally found a functional medicine doctor, actually really two that were very helpful. And they actually investigated. They ran comprehensive testing. They found mold toxicity, Lyme disease, parasites. Well, they didn't really get into the parasites, but heavy metals, the toxicities, etc. Viruses, oh my gosh. The viral panels were out of control. They gave me supplements. They talked about gut health and inflammation. They talked about detoxing. And I say that detoxing because you're going to hear later, it wasn't detoxing how I actually do detoxing now. And I will say it helped. It absolutely helped. Like I said, I went from bedridden and nearly dying to functional, but I stayed stuck in survival mode. I couldn't get past a certain point. Everything had to be absolutely perfect or I'd crash. I was now just managing symptoms with supplements instead of medications, which is great, but I wasn't truly healing. I wasn't thriving in life. I wasn't healthy by any means. And when I went back to my functional medicine doctor after years of working with them, I'm like, what's next? Like, I know there's more. I know that like, this isn't, yes, I'm not dying and I'm grateful for that, but I know there's more. Like, I'm just surviving. And literally they said there's nothing else that they can do for me in the physical world. I just need to work on stress. And that's when I realized functional medicine had taken me as far as it could. And I was grateful for it, but it wasn't the final answer. I had to rely on me and I had to dive deep. And here's how I see it now. Conventional medicine is one end of the spectrum. They suppress symptoms. It's Band-Aids, pharmaceuticals, really no investigation into the root cause. And then you have functional medicine. This is like the middle step. And it brought awareness that conventional medicine isn't enough. It introduced the idea of root cause. It said, let's look deeper. Let's test comprehensively. Let's use natural interventions instead of pharmaceuticals. And that was huge. It was necessary. And I am always, still, and always will be grateful because that functional medicine exists, because it wakes people up to the possibility that there's another way. But functional medicine isn't the end of the road. It's the bridge. It's the middle point. It's that transition. It's the step that gets you out of conventional medicine and points you towards true healing. But it doesn't take you all the way there. And this is what I have found through not only my experience, but with my own family members, friends, and all of my clients as well. So this is where functional medicine stops short. Let me break down exactly where functional medicine misses the mark. And this is, again, not to tear it down, but to show you what's still missing so that you can understand why you might still be stuck and not healing to the point of living your vibrant, thriving life. Okay, so number one, functional medicine jumps to supplements and labs without the foundations. Functional medicine loves to test. Gosh, I've spent over $100,000 testing through functional medicine. And I get it. Testing is valuable. It can have a place. But here's what happens. You go in, they run $3,000 worth of labs, and they give you 15 supplements to take based on those results. But they never ask, are you hydrated properly? Are you eliminating daily? Are you eating in a state that allows? Are you getting your morning sunlight? Are you sleeping in true darkness? They might ask some of these questions in an initial consult, but I never found with myself, again, family, friends, or clients, that this gets like dive deep into. They skim the foundations of which are essential for the body to be able to receive and actually utilize those supplements. It's like trying to build a house on sand. You can have the best materials of the world, but the foundation isn't solid, it won't hold. Or if you're toxic, then you can't even absorb and use all that. I'll get to that later. Anyway, number two, they don't open drainage pathways before detoxing. This is huge. This was huge for me, and this is huge for almost every single one of my clients that come to me that have been working in the functional medicine for a while. This is what kept me stuck for years. Most functional medicine practitioners will start you on a detox protocol if they're going that way right away. Maybe you're killing parasites. Maybe you're chelating heavy metals. Maybe you're clearing mold. But if those drainage pathways aren't open first, your colon, your kidney, your liver, your lymph system, where does all that stuff go? Nowhere. It just recirculates in your body. And guess what? You feel terrible. And you think, I'm just herxing. It's normal. Literally, they'll even tell you that. And it is part of it. It can be part of detoxing, but it's a sign that drainage pathways aren't open. You're not getting it out. It's just recirculating what had been stuck. You're just stirring up these toxins because they have nowhere to go, making you more sick than where you were before. I remember the very first detox program I did, I thought was so expensive. It was a $500 30-day detox program. And I did it while I was still living in a moldy house. Didn't know I was living in mold. Didn't know I needed to address mold, really, while I'm doing a detox. I had closed drainage pathways. I didn't know at the time, but later learned that I did. And not only did that detox program not work, I got worse. You have to open the doors before you can start moving furniture out. Okay, so number three, they say work on stress without really teaching you how. When my doctor told me to work on stress, I was a little bit confused because my conscious mind didn't think I was stressed. I was a stay-at-home mom. I got to volunteer. I got to drive my kids around. I thought I was living really my best life. What was there to be stressed about? But what he didn't explain, what functional medicine in general doesn't explain, is that stress is not about your perception. It's about what your nervous system perceives. My nervous system was in complete overdrive, and no one taught me how to regulate it. No one really explained fight or flight. They kind of explained the concept, but not what to do with it. No one really gave me the tools to actually shift my nervous system out of survival mode. I was told to meditate, do breathing exercise, reduce my stress. Well, what the heck did that mean when I didn't even know I was stressed? It just wasn't enough. And honestly, most functional medicine practitioners are just starting to catch up on this. And I am so grateful that nervous system awareness is becoming more popular. But it still seems to be surface level in most practices that I have found. Okay, so number four, they don't address the subconscious patterns. This is huge. And even when they do talk about the nervous system regulation, here's what gets missed by almost everyone. You can do all the breath work, the vagal toning, the grounding, etc. But if you don't address the subconscious patterns that keep triggering your nervous system back into survival mode, you will stay stuck. You're just going to have to keep redoing these things over and over and over. And I'm talking about the beliefs you absorbed in childhood, the trauma your body stored, but your mind forgot, the patterns that made you feel safe once, but now keep you in dysregulated state. And guess what? They might not even be yours. They could be generational from your parents, your grandparents, and etc. You could be picking up on them from society. So you have to dive into the subconscious piece of it, or you're never going to get to the root of it. These are all loops that are running in the background that sabotage every protocol you try. Functional medicine doesn't go there. They don't have the tools for it. It's just outside of their model. Okay, number 5, they completely ignore spiritual alignment. Now, I will say in the Functional Medicine Coaching Academy, they do mention spirituality and talk that it's a part of the whole person's health. But in practice, they didn't really dive deep into it. And I've never seen in practice of functional medicine truly addressing it, other than you need to connect to something greater to you. They don't talk about really aligning with your purpose, how to do that, really connecting with God, with your own spirit, your own soul, aligning with your spirit, your soul, and with God. They don't talk about your intuition and that inner knowing. And here's what that matters. When you're spiritually disconnected, you stay in survival mode. You don't have that anchor, and you keep making choices that keep filling your glass back up, that keep you dysregulated, that keep you disconnected, that keep you sick, that keep you stuck in these patterns because you're not connecting to something larger than you. You're not connecting to your own spirit that's here to guide you. And it keeps you stuck in these loops. Spiritual alignment isn't optional. It is foundational. But functional medicine doesn't touch it. Or they'll just say you need to work on spirituality or connect to something greater, but they leave it there. You need the tools. You need to connect. You need to align. Okay, so number 6, and I'm here to teach you how. Other people are too, but it's essential. Anyway, side note. Okay, so number 6, they still treat symptoms. Just now it's with natural remedies instead of pharmaceuticals. Yes, this one really, really, really ticks me off. Functional medicine prides itself on being root cause medicine. But here's the truth. They're still treating symptoms. They're just using supplements instead of pharmaceuticals. And I am appreciative of that because at least we're getting the toxicity piece out of it and we're using natural sources. But it's still just a Band-Aid. Okay, so they might find you have thyroid issues. Here's thyroid support. You have gut issues. Here's some gut healing supplements. You have hormone imbalance. Here's some hormone support. It's just now of a natural Band-Aid versus a pharmaceutical Band-Aid. But guess what? It's still a Band-Aid. They're not asking the deeper questions. They're not asking why. So this leads to number 7. They stop at the diagnosis and they call it the root cause. But guess what? This is the biggest issue I have. The one that keeps people stuck more than anything else. Functional medicine says we're going to get to the root cause, but their root cause is still just a diagnosis. You have Hashimoto's, you have hypothyroidism, you have SIBO, you have leaky gut. Okay, great. Here's the protocol. But they don't take it farther. Why? Why is your thyroid not working? Why is your body attacking itself? Why do you have an autoimmune disease? Let's go on and on. That is the root cause question, the why. Why, and keep diving deeper until there are no more questions. Don't we learn that as kids in school? Like, keep asking why? Functional medicine doesn't go there. They find the dysfunction, they name it, and they treat it with natural interventions, but they don't ask why the dysfunction exists in the first place. Why is your glass overflowing? What's filling it up? What's keeping your nervous system stuck? What subconscious patterns are you running? What spiritual disconnection is present? That's root cause. And functional medicine stops before it ever gets there. Okay. Rant over, maybe. Number 8, one-size-fits-all protocols based only on labs. Okay, so finally, functional medicine relies almost entirely on labs to determine what you need. But labs only give you a snapshot of what's actually, it gives you a snapshot of what's going on. They don't tell you what's actually going on in your body and what your body is ready for. They don't tell you what your nervous system can handle. They don't tell you the order that your body needs to heal. This is why I use muscle testing, because it bypasses the conscious mind and the limitations of labs and taps directly into your own body's intelligence. Your body knows what it needs, and it knows what it needs to heal. But functional medicine doesn't have the tools to access that. I could go on so much about that. So they give everyone the same protocol based on lab results, and they just hope that it works, honestly. It's still essentially a one size fits all. It's just more sophisticated version. Okay, so what comes next? If functional medicine is the middle step, if it's the bridge that gets you out of conventional medicine but doesn't take you all the way to true healing, what comes next? This is what I discovered through my own journey, my own personal healing journey. And it's what has become, or what I now call, it has become, and now what I call the clean life method. True healing requires a few things. One, you got to start with the foundations. Make sure the foundations of health are covered. Before supplements, detoxing protocols, if those foundations are not met, you can do all those other things, but they're not going to stick. I'm talking about hydration, elimination, daily bowel movements, sweating, the state of your digestion while you're eating, sleep, your circadian rhythm, body awareness, and so much more. This is what I teach in my course or my program, Renew Foundations. Okay, so number 2, this is essential. Opening drainage pathways before detoxing. Never, ever, ever, ever do any sort of detoxing until those drainage pathways are open. Again, I'm talking about your kidneys, your liver, your lymph, really your skin too is part of it, your colon. You can't clear what you can't drain. And this is the foundation of all of my detox programs. Renew Cleanse, Renew You, Renew Complete. We open the doors first. The drainage pathways are open, and then we systemically clear the toxins and parasites together in the right order at a pace your body can handle. This is so essential. Okay, number 3, actually regulating the nervous system and rewiring the subconscious pattern. If you don't dive into the subconscious and figure out what's going on there and release it and pull it out, you're just going to keep going in, because guess what? Your subconscious is about 95% of all brain activity. Your conscious mind is only 5%. So if we're doing everything in the conscious and we're working on nervous system regulation, which is great, and working with emotions and feelings out of our conscious mind, we're working in the 5%. But there's 95% of what's going on in our body, and our body rules what goes on. I mean, our mind, 95% of what's going on in our mind tells the body what to do. And if we're completely unaware of it, we're unaware of what our mind is telling our body to do. And that is what our body is doing. Sorry, I hope that made sense. So you have to address the subconscious. What's going on in there? What are the beliefs? What are the emotions? What are the generational traumas, etc.? And we've got to bring them to the surface and let them go, clear them so that we can move forward. And I'm not talking about just breathing exercises or just work on stress. Yes, we need to do those, but we need to learn to really teach your nervous system what safety feels like, and breaking those loops that keep triggering back into survival mode. This is essential. And this is what I do in Renew Reset, is address just this. It's a program if you're just wanting to deal with the nervous system and the subconscious work, we can deal with that in Renew Reset. My Renew Complete gives you the full body detoxing, subconscious work, the whole 9 yards. But this nervous system work with subconscious repatterning is essential. All right, and number 4, addressing spiritual alignment. Gosh, this is huge. They're all huge, right? Or I wouldn't have them. But reconnecting to God, to your purpose, to your inner knowing. This is essential. When you're spiritually aligned with God, with your own soul, everything else becomes clearer. It becomes easier. I mean, so easy. You stop outsourcing your power. You stop guessing on what you need to do, and you start trusting your body's wisdom. Your body, your soul, God, they want the best for you, and they are constantly trying to steer you in the right direction. We just don't always listen, and we don't always have that connection. So what I have found is that when you clear your body, that leads to a clear mind, and that creates a clear connection to spirit, to your spirit, to God. And that but it does lead you in the right direction all the time. Just often we can't hear it, and we haven't been taught how to hear it. So this is essential too. And number 5, use muscle testing to personalize absolutely everything. Not just labs, not one size fits all protocols, but muscle testing, because your body knows what it needs and in what order it needs. Muscle testing allows you to tap into that and reveal it. Okay, so number 6 combines all this stuff, but you have to address body, mind, and spirit all together and in the order that your body needs. Some people need to start with physical foundations. Their physical body is in such disarray that they need physical support before they can even get to nervous system, and forget spiritual alignment. Like they're in just such survival mode, like can't even get out of bed. We got to work on the physical body first. Some people need nervous system work first. They really need to work on regulating the nervous system and repatterning some of this subconscious stuff, releasing and letting it go before they can even get to the physical or the spiritual. And some people need spiritual reconnection, and then that helps. I mean, I won't lie, I've had a couple clients that's all they needed, and then everything else just unraveled and unwound, and they were great. I won't lie, I'm super jealous of those people. But your body, your soul knows which path is right, and muscle testing is an avenue that I use and find that it tells us exactly what you need. And I teach you how to do it in my muscle testing simplified courses so that you can be empowered to start doing some of these things on your own. There's no right path. Everybody's individual. We're all on our own. There's only the right path for you and your body. And that is what functional medicine doesn't do. And it's why people stay stuck even after spending thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars on testing and supplements. So I'm going to share with you the covenant that I made with God. I'm going to be honest with you, going against functional medicine, standing here and saying that functional medicine is enough is not easy. It has not been easy. I'm certified in it. I've worked within the model personally and professionally, and I know what I'm saying challenges a lot of practitioners and a lot of people who believe functional medicine is the answer. It cost me. It has strained professional relationships to be speaking out against this. It's made people question me. But back in 2019, in my absolute lowest point in my health journey, I made a covenant with God. I was lying in a hotel bed for 6 hours, unable to open my eyes because even that was too painful. I focused on my breath and I said, if you let me keep breathing, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to get on the computer and I'm going to figure it out. I'll heal myself. I'm going to heal my son. I'm going to go back to school so I can heal other people. And that is exactly what I've done. That covenant is why I'm doing this work. It's why I'm willing to say the hard things. It's why I go against mainstream medicine and functional medicine when necessary. Sorry, guys. Again, grateful for it, but it's not the end all. And every client that comes to me has found the same thing. Because I've seen what happens when people stay stuck in the middle. When they think functional medicine is the final answer and they keep spinning their wheels, they keep spending money, keep doing the same thing. And yes, they're surviving, but they're maybe not thriving. And I know there's another way, a deeper way, a way that actually gets the root of why the body isn't thriving. So my invitation to you, if you've been in the functional medicine world and you're frustrated like I was, if you've done the testing, you've taken the supplements, you've spent the money, and you're still not where you want to be, you know there's more, you know there's a better way, you know there's more in life, I want you to know you're not broken. You have not failed. Functional medicine just isn't the complete picture. There's another level. And it's not about doing more. It's about doing things in the right order at the right pace, addressing body, mind, and spirit. And that's what I do with my whole Renew Healing ecosystem. That's why I built it. Renew Foundations to teach you the basics that everyone skips, the foundations of health. Renew Cleanse. It is just a 4-month physical detox for those people that just need some physical support. Renew Reset to regulate the nervous system and rewire the subconscious patterns. Renew You, 6-month program integrating body, mind, and spirit healing. And then Renew Complete, which is my 9-month fully guided one-on-one, completely customized journey that really dives into absolutely all of it. Every single program I offer is built on the Clean Life method, the framework that takes you beyond where functional medicine stops. If you want to explore what this looks like for you, I have 2 resources and I'll link them below. You can watch my Clean Life method video to understand the complete framework, or read the blog, which actually is more in-depth than the video, and I'll put those links in the description of this video. Or you can book an integrative health consultation where we'll muscle test your priorities, see what's going on in your body, mind, and spirit, and personalize a path just for you. I'll put that link below as well. In closing, functional medicine was a necessary step. It woke me up. It wakes other people up. It brought awareness. It brings awareness. It gets people asking better questions. And I am forever grateful for that. But it's not the end of the road. True healing, root cause healing, goes deeper. It asks why. It addresses body, mind, and spirit. It honors your nervous system readiness. It opens drainage pathways before detoxing. It rewires patterns, not just symptoms. And that's what comes next. And that's when you're ready, I'm here. That's what I do. So thank you for being here. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel to learn more. If you think of anybody that might benefit from this video, please share, please pass on. It is a different path. It is a different way. It is the way if you've been stuck. And I am forever grateful. And thank you for being here. Just know there's another way. All right. Have a great day. Love you guys.